So in channeling some of the, I got a little caterpillar on top of my camera there. Probably going to come down in front of it. So if you see a little caterpillar, that's what it is. Um, so like I was going to say, part of the channeling, I'm going to share this little tidbit with you, like on the base chakra, right, in that system. Now, a lot of us will say it's survival, using the term survival, right? Now, the term survival, it is, they say, because this is written from their perspective, because I'm channeling it in, right, into our form verbalization, what we use to connect with, to understand it, because we're all in agreement with what this means when we say this word, right? So survival is an incorrect translation and verbalization about the base chakra. It's not survival. And why, right? It gives two reasons so far. Well, because it's just lack, it's the absence of having it, right? And so when we look at it as the absence of lack of our basic needs, right, it's a different construct when we can look at it from that point of view. And when we put subjection of our reality and beliefs into it, we're in survival mode. Like that's panic, anxiety, things like that. When we translate and turn it into not survival, like your life is being threatened, we can change that perspective around it. It's not survival, it's lack of. We just don't have it. And so that changed perspective around our base chakra of how we're looking at it and feeling it and understanding it. It's just a lack of the appearance of not having it, but all is provided by source. And so it is us just being separate from it, not having it, projecting it outside of ourselves, that we're looking at, in the way of manifestation. And so in our realization, when we have that, then our needs are met, right? But we're becoming in alignment with it, right? It's just being in and out of alignment. There is no survival mode, right? But we term it that as a human consciousness because we believe that's what it is. And the hierarchy that's been put in place use that term. And maybe it's just because that's how they saw it as, or they believed it to be, or whatever the case may be. But we're never in survival mode. The other reason why we're never in survival mode is because there is no death. Even if we don't make it in the human realm, we still live beyond this realm. So they're in how can you, when there is no death, then how can you be in survival mode, right? Poof. That should dispel some of your illusion around being in survival mode, those two facts, right? And so part of this book, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be demystifying and clarifying the ignorance that we put around our verbiage and things that we think are our wisdom, which really isn't. It's just how we see it and perceive it and how it's been translated over lifetimes when we haven't had the understanding or the awareness of what it actually means. For people who haven't had the experience and can relay that in the correct verbiage. So from this perspective that I'm channeling from that side that the guides are giving to put in this book, it's going to have a different dialogue, right? So there is no survival, right? And we want to kind of get rid of that because that attunes to survival method, right? So that's constant panic, constant anxiety, stress. And what does that do to the body? It breaks it down, right? And we start struggling with health issues, things like that. And it's out of balance, it's not in alignment. And when we want to understand that we're creating our reality of not having it, the absence of being out of alignment, and so bringing yourself into alignment with meditation and seeing it from that point of view, we can be in alignment what it is that is our needs, our basic needs. And then when we look at our basic needs, do I have a house? Do I have a car? Do I have this? Are those really your basic needs? Or what are your real basic needs, right? We are living on basic needs projected outside of ourselves, what the society or the world says that our basic needs are, right? Everything is provided. When we manifest and we work on ourselves, all that comes to us. It's us that keeps it from us coming into us to have it, right? When we say, no, you can't afford that, no, this, no, that, that's lack mentality, right? And so basic needs are just that. right? And just demystifying this helps can change perspective around it, right? And from that perspective, when you change your mind frame around something, it's more easier and less struggling and suffering and separate than where it is that you are in your manifesting of it and having it, right? And so hopefully that makes sense, on just in general, what I've channeled so far on the base chakra. And so there's more to come because there's 10 that we're going to go through. So hopefully that sparked an interest, and tuning in, like, share, and subscribe. And for the other ones that come in, and I'll share little tidbits about that as we go. Um, and then the purchase of the book will be on Amazon. Hopefully that helps kind of clear up a little bit about what this book is going to be about and how we can change and shift our perspective around certain things. Because when we hold certain perspectives in reality, we create that. And when we are thinking, we're in survival mode. That means that we die. It also means that we are in fear and suffering, which actually doesn't exist because there's only love, abundance, and bliss, right? Truth and happiness and joy, right? Creation, right? And we want to look at it from that point of view, right? And this is more of a higher conscious awareness book towards the chakras and how that is from that perspective versus the human version when we look at it. And a lot of the books are out there based on, you know, the chakra systems from the human perspective, and then people are just rewriting it over and over again using the same verbiage in different ways, right? And instead of connecting to the source, the truth of how and they see it from that side, because everything's an inversion, then we can see it and have it in the realization of what it really is. All right, so that's just little tidbits that are on the base chakra for you. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned in for the other ones to come.